Second Lieutenant Reggie Howard, a Central graduate and now a brand new graduate of the Air Force Academy. Wow, Reggie. And it was my great privilege to really get to know you a little bit a year and a half ago or so, when I was blessed to get to make a trip to the Academy and got to spend a few hours with you there. And now here you are, a graduate and fixing to go on a backpacking tour of Europe for a few weeks and then start at Keesler Air Force Base. Wow, Reggie. This town is proud of you, and Mama Bonds here is so proud of what you have given up, really, during your 4 years at the Air Force Academy in order to be sitting here today with this on your shoulder and a future ahead of you that will help our country and us. So let's backtrack a little here, Reggie.
Okay.
You came to San Angelo. How old were you?
I was actually born here, so I've lived here all my life, seen everything.
And your dad's retired Air Force.
Yes, ma'am.
And so you came all the way up through San Angelo schools, graduated from Central. And I've asked you this before, but I can't remember. You weren't in ROTC? Or
No, ma'am.
Okay. Well, Reggie, when did you decide you were going to even apply for the Academy?
It was around junior year. My dad mentioned it. When he first told me about it, I was like, nah, there's no way. There's no way. I'm going to UT or A&M with my friends and having the college experience. But once I started talking to more people about it, they said it's a real good opportunity. I get to see a lot of things that kids my age won't get to see. So I said, I'll try it out. We'll see what happens. And I was actually very late in turning my application. I was probably the last day, so I don't recommend that happening to anyone else. I was struggling at the last
Well, you
second.
were busy as a junior in high school, weren't you, a senior?
Yeah.
Because you were in things at Central. What all did you do at Central?
I played a variety of sports. I played football, basketball, soccer. I was a member of NHS, a couple other clubs, and I was working a little bit, but not too much. I was mostly just concentrating on school and getting through my sports and trying to get out of there.
Well, people speak so highly of you, and when the way I really got to visit with you is when, as a representative of Goodfellow, a civilian representative, and got to go a year and a half ago with then the head, the 4-star general, Stephen Lorenz, who's over the Goodfellow as well as multiple other, 13 or so other ATEC bases. And about 6 months prior to our trip to the Academy, because he had attended the Academy, gone back as superintendent of the Academy, and loves the Air Force Academy. And he asked me, so that'd be about 2 years ago now, did SAISD have any young people at the Academy? And I said, yes, we do, 3 students at that time. And then he never mentioned it again, and I get there and you all are standing there, and to spend those few hours with y'all, get to eat lunch in the gigantic mess hall at the Academy where you had all of 5-7 minutes to eat your meal on a normal basis, was a great honor for me to get to know you a little bit then, Reggie. And then I followed you these last year and a half, and now just days ago you graduated. And when I was there, I asked you what your plans were, because don't most young men and women that graduate from the Academy need to fulfill some period of military duty? Is that right, to pay back your Academy experience?
Yes, ma'am. There's 5 years of military duty we have to pay back, and then after that we can either stay in or we can leave.
And it's not nearly as big a percent of young people that graduate that go on and become pilots as maybe even I thought. And at that time, you weren't sure. And now you've set a course of action. And tell us about where your path is going to lead you now.
For now, I'm going to Keesler Air Force Base, Mississippi. It's on the coast, Biloxi. It's for cyberspace training. It's 6 months, and I can be anything from a computer hacker to managing networks for the base. So pretty excited about that. Just recently, like you said, I was kind of debating whether I wanted to go pilot or not. I had the medical group call me and asked if I wanted to pursue a waiver because I had depth perception issues. So I said I might as well to have some options. So they sent me to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Ohio, to get my exam, and I received my waiver. So I'm waiting for a pilot slot. I could get that within the next couple weeks, and if I do, I'll have to sit down with myself and kind of think what I want to do for the next 5-10 years of my life. And I might go that route, so we'll see.
And if I remember, you were not positive a year and a half ago, which would have been midpoint of your third year, that you were going to make a career. Have you? I know you've thought about it, Reggie, because you're a very cerebral, you think stuff. Do you today think you may make this a career, or are you just going to fulfill your 5 years?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I've had buddies who graduated a couple years back, and they swore to me that they wouldn't go past 5 years. And I mean, they've been in a couple years now, and they love it, and they think that they'll make a career out of it. So it's hard to say now because I haven't really seen the Air Force. I've only seen the academy and school, so I'm not too sure now, but I'll know pretty soon probably.
Well, I always think it's interesting to see you. Even though I know this isn't you've thought about it a lot, it wasn't a quick decision even about your course of study. I didn't realize that academy students are strongly encouraged to be a part of some, I don't know if they call them extracurricular, but something that it's not clubs really necessarily, whether it's an athletic team or some were pilots. What did you do while you were academy? Because I know you had to do something besides study and march.
A lot of stuff.
Tell us about your experience at the academy. Talk to us about the first year.
The first year?
It's tough.
Wow, yeah. The first year I was a member of the football team, so I did that almost every day. It took 5 hours out of my day. It was pretty tough. First year, overall, was real tough. Not too much sleep at all.
And they don't coddle you and tell you you're wonderful. Like
they put you in a rock, and they kind of just tell you how to shape up and how to be better, and a lot of things like that. So it was real tough. A lot of scrutiny. It was real hard, but it makes you a better person in the end. It really does.
What prepared you to get through that and not buckle?
I can't really say, I can't pinpoint one thing that I've done in my past that kind of helped me for this. Really, what helped me throughout the experience was my friends there. I saw them, and we kind of hold together and say, okay, this is not that bad. We'll get through it, and kind of that bond we had is what propelled me through those years and helped me out. So.
All right, so your first year you were on the football team, and that's a big deal. Then what about your second year?
Second year, I didn't get too much playing time. School was tough. I had really bad grades, not what I was used to. So I made a decision to stop, kind of just stopped that for a little while, concentrated on grades, got them back up, and then I joined the boxing team. That was pretty random for me because I never thought in a million years to be boxing. But I did that.
Well, let me interrupt you a second. I think our audience may not realize that struggling with grades in the first place, kids that are not good students don't even get into the academy. But there's so much put on students there that General Lorenz is very open about how he struggled with his grades, and especially his first and second year. I don't think y'all call them that. Do you? What do you call instead of your freshman, sophomore, junior? I can't remember.
4 degree, 3 degree.
And it goes backwards, doesn't it? So a first degree is a senior.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, so General Lorenz even showed us in the dorm the room where once his grades went to a certain point, he had to move in order to be nudged a little more toward his studies. So now that you say all the time you're trying to keep your grades up, be on an athletic team, and go through all the drilling and training that they're allowing you to participate in, it's hard to keep up. And this is a tough university in and of itself. So you went on the boxing. How'd that do for you?
It was tough. It made me kind of look inside myself and see.
Even more than being on a football team?
No, I've never played an individual sport before, so definitely if you don't put in your own work, then you'll see what happens, and it kind of hits you in the face. You know what I mean?
Literally and figuratively. So did you do that even after your sophomore year?
Yes, ma'am. I did it all 4 years. I just finished up a couple months ago, and it was a good experience. The coaches supported me throughout the last 3 years of my college career, and it helped me out a lot. So it was a big family, basically what it was. It was fun. So
are you given a choice to not be a part of some group there, or is every cadet expected?
You don't have to participate on an intercollegiate team, but you have to participate in at least intramurals. Okay. So everybody participates in some type of intramural sport. So you chose boxing, and
okay, so by your junior year or your third year there, which would have been, y'all call it 2. Mm-hmm. That was the year I really got my first taste of having a conversation and picking your brain a little bit. You're over most of the toughness at the academy. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
And then your last 2 years, you're leaders.
Yeah, we're in control of the cadet wing at that point. Yeah. So we have a lot of leadership responsibility. And is it fair to say that not many drop out after the third year? The price of dropping out increases after that year, because once you attend your first class, your third year, 2-degree year, you enter basically a contract to where if you leave, then you have to pay back the Air Force either monetarily or through commitment, enlisted commitment. So it's a big price to pay if you leave.
What percent ballpark drop out of the academy?
I believe we started with a little over 1,300, and we graduated just over 1,000. So
that's a high
pretty big number.
Okay. Well, that's higher than I was expecting. Much higher percentage of loss there. You are home just briefly. Going to go and have a great experience with a pack on your back.
Oh, yeah.
Through some foreign countries. Have you traveled much overseas, Reggie, in your life?
No, not at all. I've been to Korea once, and maybe Mexico and a little bit of Canada. But
so this will be a great learning experience for you. And then you hit the books again.
Yeah, back to school, basically.
Yeah, but totally different now.
Yeah, different environment for sure. I'll have my own place instead of living in the dorms. I'll be in control of myself. My sleep schedule. We're not going to have people tell you when to go to sleep.
Turning the lights out for you.
Lights off, taps, and all that stuff. So I'll have a lot more control. So it'll be fun.
All right, Reggie, there are young people, and I can name one or two at least, who aspire to go to one of our nation's military academies. Say, if you could sum up, and I haven't given you any warning of this question, if you were advising them as they're in their junior, senior year, or their high school years, what would you, in retrospect, wish you had done? Anything differently in high school to get ready?
I was a pretty messy person in high school as far as being prepared. I wasn't really structured, so I wish I would have taken more time to learn that part of
just organization.
Organization, basically. It was tough to plan out my day at school. It was tough to use every hour, because every hour needs to be used for something, either school, sports, military duties. The whole day needs to be used up, and I wasn't ready for that at all. Not at all.
So why is going through what you have gone through when your classmates, as you said, were going to UT, Texas A&M, ASU, Texas Tech, and you knew that they had lots of time to just be kids. Mm-hmm. What made you willing to pay that price?
Well, I knew that upon graduation of this place, that I was going to have a bright future, and that I was going to be pretty fortunate to have the things that I have now. And that kind of pushed me through, because I knew that if I went to UT, if I went to A&M, I could succeed, and I probably will succeed. But based on the economy now, there's a lot of volatility, and it's hard to find jobs right after college. It's you're gonna have to do a lot more things than what I have to do. Basically, I graduate and I have a job, I have a place to stay, roof over my head. So I'm pretty fortunate, and that kind of kept me on track right there.
Well, you're downplaying because you're an humble person, and even your high school teachers say this about you, Reggie. You don't brag about yourself, but you know you will be giving toward your country. And thank God you are. And I can't tell you how much and this city, as you know, loves America and highly is grateful to our military personnel. Probably one of the reasons your dad chose to retire here. And I love being a part of a community like that. But you are, in order to rise up in the military, go to the next rank and the next rank, you still have to be organized.
Yeah, I'm in that real quick.
Yeah, you're not going to suddenly be a total free man. Mm-hmm. Because you set goals, and you are going to go toward those goals. And I'm so grateful that you are going to do that. Your interests clearly are cyberspace. What about that is of an interest to you?
I've always been pretty interested in computers. I'm not going to lie that was not my first, second, or third choice to enter that career field.
But that's a huge
but
field
it's
now.
Up and coming, it really is. So I'm excited for it, because I know that the future's open. There's a lot of room.
Yep. And I think it's going to be changing. You're going to have to stay fairly sharp just to stay up with how fast that field changes. I don't even think anybody has a clue what 4 years down the road, the same amount of time you've been in the academy, what that field is going to look like.
Yeah,
I think that's exciting. I'm excited for you, Reggie.
One of the first ones to go through. I'm excited too, but.
And Keesler's a neat place. You're going to enjoy it. It's a pretty place down there. Reggie, if you don't know if you're going to make this a career yet, but your dad did, and so it's sort of in your family, and you've told me your younger sister is going to go to, is it UT?
She's at UT right now, yes ma'am.
And in the ROTC?
Yes ma'am.
So it's in y'all's, not necessarily DNA, but at some point along the line you've been brainwashed.
It's somewhere in us, somewhere.
Yeah, and a great environment. Thank goodness it has been. Do you think she wants to make the military her career?
I'm not too sure. It was actually kind of a shock that she went the RTC route. I thought she was going to go to UT and do pre-med and kind of go that route, but I'm not too sure. I haven't really talked to her too much about it, but I'm sure she's going through the same stuff that I am right now. She's kind of just waiting and see once you get in and see how well you perform, see the opportunities you have ahead, and based on those things, then make a decision.
She's also watching you, big brother, isn't she?
Hope I don't disappoint.
Reggie, you don't disappoint us or her, I'm quite sure. What about your upbringing? So whether your home life or your schooling or your extracurricular, because you were in lots of things, really prepared you the most to be successful? And even if you can't think, well, I don't know which one was the most, but what things really helped you hang in there and be successful?
I believe what helped me the most was my participation in all the sports that I played.
What about it?
It took up a lot of my time, so I learned to time manage pretty well. Not as well as I needed to at the academy. It's a lot different, but I had a good base to start from. That helped me a lot. My father and my family, they kind of gave me a lot of leeway. They weren't too strict, but they instilled in me a lot of values that helped me throughout my 4 years. So I was really fortunate to have them.
Well, Reggie, you were a leader. You've probably been a leader your whole life, but from the main ones I hear from high school and on those teams, kids looked up to you. You kept your nose clean, and you took input. When coaches, particularly from what I hear, you were moldable, and that's had to have helped you when people were in your space, particularly for 2 years, giving you instruction. I wish more and more of our kids could handle that better, handle people, trying to help mold them. So do you think as you go forward, there's still going to be people above you giving
always.
you orders?
Always.
Is that hard? Do you bristle, or is it just natural for you to listen and do it?
No, I just kind of just take it for what it is. They're instructing you because they need something done, or they're trying to help you out. So they're not doing it for just no reason at all. Just keep that in mind, that there's always going to be people above you, and just kind of don't take it as if they're scrutinizing you. Just kind of take it that they're trying to help you out and they're trying to help you grow.
Even though occasionally there's one that's getting pleasure out of being
sometimes
tough.
there's a couple of those, but at the same time, I mean, just don't mind them. There's people like that everywhere.
So you can blow it off pretty easily.
Yeah, I'm just open. I'm real easygoing. It's not. I don't get mad very often. So basically, I just have an open mind and see the good in things instead of dwell on the bad. That's what I try to do.
Well, Reggie, there are a lot of people in this city who are so proud of you. And thank you for your being willing to serve our country. And we're going to watch you and pray for you, and just keep doing things that will help model for the young people, not just in this city, how to be a great young person and a great American. Thank you, Reggie.
Yeah, thanks for having me.